Alright, welcome to another edition of JTJU, where we all try to be just a little better at the game of Clash of Clans. I got another attack review screencast, this time episode 4, Bribat, Max Town Hall 7, attacking a mid-level Town Hall 8 with its level 2 dragons, and by golly, his slide 11 attack brings him to 3 stars. So let's take a look at how he did it. But before we do, as always, let's give a head nod to our backup band. In this case, it's Rat with Round and Round. Because I'll tell you why, because they're awesome. Let's go. So the first thing we want to do with any attack is take a look, is this the right style given the base layout? 105 Dragoon looks alright with 5 tiles between all ADs, but notice how the base layout in terms of the defensive buildings doesn't path nicely to the gut shot right between those two ADs. So it'd be a little harder. 11 Light would make it actually easier, and those two actually go hand in hand, figure out one, use one or the other. So in this case, 11 Light is better, and it'll be the one we end up going with, but let's stick with the others. Hog's got too many gappings there. You got no 2x4s, so no double bigs, but the spring trapping and mining on a Town Hall 7 hitting Town Hall 8 would be very worrisome. And then Go Wipe, not a factor, don't have any golems. 717, we don't have the Ring of Defensive Buildings to funnel it in to the ADs or through the mid. And then the 813 and Dragon Snipe both require having a more spread AD formation, so it's a 105 or 11 Light. And 11 Light is the one we're going to do. So let's go to the next step. Alright, next question is which AD we're going to light. We want to pick the one that leaves us the easiest broadside. Really, there's only two options. That AD at 7-ish, the one down low of the Town Hall. If you blew that one, leave that wider broadside, but easier path to without the storage between, so that's kind of attractive. If you lit the one that's at 2 there, hanging out by itself or by the mortar, you would actually leave a very tightly grouped 2 ADs, but then you got the 2 big damage sinks in front, that gold storage and the elixir storage, which is kind of worrisome. So I think lighting the one at 7 is good. Bang, there it goes. Give it a green. Next up is the deploy line. You want to draw a line between the 2 remaining ADs. Pick one of the ADs, draw a 45-degree angle off that line between them, and then the deploy line is perpendicular to that, cant it to the side of the other AD. In this case, does it perfect. Look at that, nice. Give it a green. The next big decision is when to deploy your Barb King. I mean, the CC drag can come out, but you didn't even use a max drag, so it makes it even harder. But you want to deploy the Barb King where you think is the biggest risk that most dragons might path outside. You want to keep him inside near the stuff that's going to hurt him the most. And in this case, he picks the 10 o'clock position. Good call. I'll give it a green. And at that point, you got no other decisions left to do. You're on autopilot. But you can kind of watch as his dragons roll through the rest of the base to kind of see the flow. But, you know, it brings to mind one thing you got to be thinking about anytime you're doing any dragon attack. Not just the steps we lay out here, but also the layout of the base and how it influences the first components of your pathing is often one of the key decision makers in how you deploy and which actual strategy you use. So keep that in mind. But otherwise, a great attack by Bribat. Level 2 drags. Not even a max dragon CCs. Doesn't matter to Bribat. Town Hall 7 still 3 stars at Town Hall 8. Awesome! Alright, that wraps up this edition of JTJU's Attack Review, taking an in-depth look at the 11 Light attack. Hope it helped you out. If you got more time in your hands, feel free to take a look at our last video, which is actually another attack review, looking at the 105 Dragoon. Or, if you want a little serendipity, check out our new sub. I think his name is Planstress RS. He does a little bit of that checking out of his RuneScape play. It's still around. Yes, people are still playing it. Alright, Rat, take us out.